You're listening to Sess and C Flash, always talking sports on Village Legends podcast.
History has repeated itself again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in episode 7 of the Village Legends podcast. That's right, lucky 7. Episode 7 of the Village Legends podcast. I am Sess, my man C Flash over here by my side. We're ready to give it to you about the sports world. The NBA playoffs hot right now. The Knicks have moved on, baby. Let's go. The WNBA just off the ground. Rivalries renewed. We got MLB heating up as always. The NHL playoffs is getting down to it. Almost finals time. We got an extra point to talk about. And a lot more for where that comes from. My man C Flash, how we doing, my brother? Let's talk about it. Let's do it.
Yes, indeed. What up, what up? Good people. We back. Episode 7. We here to really get it in today, boy. The NBA playoffs has been phenomenal. We can't even exclude the NBA playoffs, even if we try to. This is also, it's probably one of the hottest topics in sports right now, along with some other sports, especially with the playoffs involved. But we're going to get into it real quick. The NBA just closed out with the OKC and the Denver Nuggets going Game 7, which was a hell of a show. Blowout, but a hell of a show. Whenever you go to a Game 7, it's always a great thing because that's the one of the top titles, or I'll say sayings in sports when it comes to the playoffs, is Game 7, where everybody tunes in. So I'm really excited. We're down to the last 4 teams in the NBA playoffs, which is the New York Knickerbockers and the Indiana Pacers. Ooh. Again, history has repeated itself again. We're back. We're back at it again. That's right. But they are huge rivals in the playoffs. And now it is complete with the Thunder and the Timberwolves. So it's going to be one hell of a show. Again, in previous episodes, we talked about how I know I've talked about it, and I said the NBA is back. And this is going to be one hell of a playoff show and run. What do you think, Sess?
Totally agree. First off, you heard it here last week. Knicks in 6, and it was to be. God bless them, my Knicks. They did it. They're moving on. What a great team. It was an awesome series. They took care of business. They let them get Game 5. Most people had the Celtics winning Game 5, which they did. But then the Knicks held true, and they got the job done in Game 6. So I cannot wait to see them against Halliburton and the Pacers. And you know, see, Halliburton likes to play the villain. So he's going to be ready to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Halliburton is a beast. I mean, it goes without saying just how Tyrese, it runs through him. You know, a lot of the offense runs through Tyrese, and how good he really is. He really ignites that offense, and brings it to a whole nother level. As we look into the starting 5 of the Pacers, you got, Tyrese Halliburton, you got Tyrese Halliburton, Aaron Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal Siakam, and Miles Turner. This is one of the exciting matchups in basketball, I believe, because on the New York Knicks side, you got Jalen Big Body Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns. I'm excited to watch how this series goes. I mean, of course, it goes seven games. Everyone that knows that's a fan, it goes 7 games. And it's a possibility it might go 7 games. I don't see it going 7 games. I truly am a person who's a realist, and this is why I love talking about sports. Now, my brother, Seth is a huge Knicks fan. I have family members who are Knicks fans alike. I just personally can't see myself saying who's going to win this series yet, because in past episodes, I say it again, my good people, in past episodes, I stay true to the Chicago Bulls of old. But I gotta say this, not to put a dagger in all Knicks fans or in Pacer fans. I'm going to stand by to see what happens in Game 1. Game 1 winner, I believe, will possibly be the winner of the Eastern Conference.
Ooh,
Seriously?
okay. Game 1 winner will win the whole thing. Will win the Eastern Conference.
Yes, not the whole thing, my brother.
I hear you. Will win the Eastern Conference.
Correct.
Well, you know, my brother, you and I, we think a lot alike. But when it comes to this, we do not. I will not play standby. I will tell you right now, the New York Knickerbockers of Madison Square Garden will win this series in 5 games, folks. You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Woo!
The Knicks will win in 5 because
Woo!
the Knicks have the better team. It just is what it is. I think the Pacers will put up a great fight. I think every game will be close. We've got a few days before Game 1, and that'll give Brunson some time to heal up, get that ankle right. So it's going to be on and popping. It's going to be a great series. It's going to be physical. It's going to be tight. But I think the Knicks are going to come out, and it's going to be their coming out party right here. I think they're going to show that they're a finals team, and they're going to take it, my man. They're going to take the Eastern Conference Finals.
My brother.
Woo!
More than likely, I just want to, stop just a little bit. Let's stop the presses real quick. Forget about that you're a Knicks fan. Why do you feel the Knicks are going to beat the Pacers?
It's very simple, my friend. The Knicks as a squad, the way they're made up, they have more weapons than the Pacers do. The Pacers have Halliburton. They have Toppin coming off the bench as well. They have a couple of good stars there. Miles Turner, who's an excellent underrated player.
I'm going to cut you off, but mind you, Toppin was traded to the Pacers from the Knicks.
So he'll have a lot to prove, absolutely.
Okay.
But when it comes down to it, Jalen Brunson, a little bit more healed than he was the previous series. Mitchell Robinson has been having a great postseason. Karl Anthony Towns right there with him. Josh Hart plays with nothing but heart. I think this is the Knicks' time. The Knicks will take it in 5, my brother.
In 5.
Yes, sir. Put it down, folks.
Gangster. Well, to all our Village Legends podcast listeners, again, this is just our opinion. This is our show. This is what we talk about. Everyone who feels differently, you guys go with what works for you. Stephen A. picked, and let me remind everyone, and let me bring this up to the airwaves. Stephen A. Smith picked the Boston Celtics to beat the Knicks in the last series, and how wrong he was. And Stephen A., normally, when you make your picks, especially with all the other sports and all that, I sit back and it's entertainment. Stephen A., we love you, my brother, we love you. At the end of the day, I have nothing bad to say about Stephen A. Stephen A. is that dude. You were wrong on this one, and you're a Knicks fan. Shame on you.
Shame on you.
But in return, I'm not mad at you, my brother, because I have no faith in the Knicks, no matter who they have on their team.
Oh,
that'll
come back to bite you. Right
to
there.
all y'all Knickerbocker fans, it's nothing personal.
Dude,
I have to be real, keep it 100 with you. I'm going to tell you right now, until I see the Knicks win this series, I possibly will jump on the bandwagon as well.
So you're not a believer. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals, but you're still not a believer. They will have to win the Eastern Conference Finals for you to believe in the Knicks. Well, I got you. Let's see what happens, baby.
I personally feel, Seth, that I believe that it's going to be about coaching.
Oh,
it's about the coaching because the players are already there. It's about coaching and those star players, of course, to step it up each and every night during this series. But it's about coaching this time, Seth. This is a debate that we both should have because I really believe that.
Two very good coaches here.
Yes, we do.
Tom Thibodeau and Rich Carlisle.
Tibbs.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Very good, very good. We'll see what happens. You got our picks, folks. You see where we're at with that.
The NBA playoffs are here, and the drama is thicker than James Harden's beard. If your team's still in it, congrats. If not, grab a bandwagon pass and choose wisely, my friend. Now, before another player drops 50 and you pretend you always believed in them, hit that like button like it's a game-winning buzzer beater. Subscribe now so you don't miss a single meltdown, miracle, or meme-worthy moment. We're talking poster dunks, playoff flops, coaches losing their minds, and fans acting like they've been watching all season. You haven't, but we forgive you. So stay locked in, because here at Village Legends Podcast, we don't just watch the playoffs, we live them. And if you're not rocking with us yet, that's a flagrant foul, my guy.
On the Western side, fresh hot off the press, like you mentioned before, the Thunder have annihilated the Denver Nuggets in Game 7. Of course, Aaron Gordon, he played. He had a banged up hamstring. He still went out there and played. Didn't make a difference neither way because they lost about by 29, 30 points, whatever it was. So now the Western Conference Finals is set, and that's a battle between the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have had a lot of rest now, against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I cannot wait. And I know you got a lot to talk about here, but I cannot wait to see Ant-Man and SGA out there in the Western Conference Finals. What do you think, my man?
I mean, we're talking about two future stars and Anthony Edwards and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, known to many as SGA. They're both phenomenal basketball players. SGA, in my personal opinion, I said this in the previous episode, that SGA, the winner of the Nuggets and the Oklahoma Thunder series, would be because they were the top two MVP candidates. So I believe, and I'm going to step out and say this, that SGA is going to be the MVP of the NBA this year. He deserves it. It's well deserving. If it wasn't for his effort and his talent, they would not be where they're at right now. That young man has worked hard. And this is why I say basketball is back. The NBA is back. And I'm seeing these young stars and they're ripping off and doing some phenomenal things. And I'm very proud of what I'm seeing. Like I said, will I ever see, and me and my man Sess, we came up in the 80s and the 90s where we seen some vicious play, where a lot of these young stars would not be allowed. They would not be allowed. I repeat, my good people, they would not be allowed in the paint to come do the things that they do. And we got the highlights to prove it.
It's funny you say that because I feel like SGA is one of those guys. We were watching Game 7 earlier today. And, of course, today being May 18th, folks, let's not get it twisted. Game 7 just in the books, final. But we're watching it earlier, and we were talking about how SGA plays at a different tempo, almost at his own tempo, up and down the court.
He glides.
He does. It's a great point. And people kind of start watching him play. It's interesting you mentioned that about the guys that we grew up watching. Would they allow a game like SGA back in those days? Would they allow that kind of tempo when they're playing big body, up in your face basketball? It's interesting. But now, back to the point at hand, you're right. SGA coming up against the Timberwolves. What do you think is going to happen there, brother?
I believe that it's going to be an offensive juggernaut. It's going to be some fiery threes, some fiery jumpers, some and I mean by jumpers, twos. You're going to have people driving in the paint. You're going to have people just going off like as if it's an all-star game. You have two talented teams. And at one point, Rudy Gobert was the defensive player of the league. Today's NBA is mainly offensive. When you have a defensive team, I will put my whole paycheck on the line to say that team, along with their offense, is going to win the championship, because defense wins championships in any sport. Hands down, you got to have good defense. And I want to talk about the starting five of the Timberwolves. You got Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, who was traded from the Knicks to the Timberwolves, and Rudy Gobert. Julius Randle alone, he might be playing with a chip on his shoulder, because that trade, believe it or not, he'll talk about it if he wins or when it's all over. But he will probably possibly talk about how that affected him. And same thing that goes with the other players that were traded. It was a shell shock to the whole sports world when you traded for Cat Williams and Julius Randle and my man Dante DiVincenzo
yep.
went over to the Timberwolves. It was something on, that you're getting up, you're getting ready for work, or you're at work, and you turn to ESPN and you see a blockbuster trade. I just think it's nuts. It's crazy nuts. But this is the part of the business that no one likes. Am I right or wrong, Says?
I'm with you on that, my brother. I am with you on that. This is going to be an awesome Western Conference Finals. I believe this final goes to Game 7, and I believe the Timberwolves win in a back-and-forth battle, and the Timberwolves will beat the Thunder in 7 games in this series. It's going to be awesome to see the future, the present, definitely the present and the future. Once guys like we've talked about a million times already, LeBron and Harden and all these guys get out of the league, what's going to be left is Anthony Edwards and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and it's going to be awesome to watch them go head-to-head. I think that for sure Ant-Man pulls it out in Game 7 in what's going to be a grueling series, my brother. That's where I'm going with it.
I would like to agree with you. I'm going to go with OKC.
Ooh. Jot that down
to defeat the Minnesota Timberwolves in 7 games.
Oh, nice.
I just believe that the Oklahoma City Thunder is just way too talented. There were times that I looked at how they beat the Nuggets. The Nuggets, we can't say around this time that people are healthy. There's no player in any sport in the playoffs that are healthy. So there's no excuses.
That's right. Not at this time of year.
So I just want to say, not to discredit the New York Knicks, but there were some major injuries in Boston Celtics team. And same thing with the Timberwolves. They were dealing, I stand corrected. Same thing with the Denver Nuggets. They were dealing with injury.
Yep.
Again, no excuses. We're not trying to make none, not trying to hear it. I believe that the Thunder is a very talented team, and my good people, I believe the Thunder will take this series in 7 games or less.
I love it. There it is. Now, imagine the story we will have, though, if it's the Knicks and the Timberwolves and that trade that you mentioned before for Cat, for DiVincenzo and Randall. That's going to be incredible. But we'll see what happens. Folks. We'll keep you posted. NBA playoffs start this week. We'll talk about it. Next up, the WNBA. WNBA just fresh underway. And really, my man C-Flash, really, if we're being honest, in the WNBA, I know you beg to differ and you'll have something to add, I'm sure, but there's really only one story in the WNBA, and it started on night 1 of the WNBA season, and that is the rivalry or the so-called quote-unquote rivalry between the greats, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Yes.
And they went at it. Game 1. You saw it. And first off, Caitlin Clark and her team, the Indiana Fever, whooped the Chicago Sky by 35 points. Let me know what you think. What did you see? How did you feel about this? There was a flagrant foul in the mix. They had some words. It was as expected. Talk to him, my man.
The rivalry is real. I believe that there was a lot of professionalism between both parties. I believe that Angel Reese and her handlers and her agents and her family and people that represent Angel Reese, the same thing with Caitlin Clark. They will come on at the podium or at the post game and always say that there's no beef. No, there is beef.
Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese is the rivalry the WNBA needed, and they're putting on a show. Logo threes, stare downs, trash talk, and receipts. Oh, it's personal now. So whether you're Team Clark, Team Reese, or just here for the chaos, hit that follow. We're breaking down every bucket, every beef, and every viral moment. This is not just women's basketball. This is straight up must-watch hoops. Subscribe and stay in the mix before the next highlight drops.
It goes back to college when Angel sat there and waved her fingers and at her ring finger and said, look at this, because basically Angel wanted to say, hey, yeah, you're looked at as the best female college basketball player in college, but look, I'm about to get this ring from you, baby girl. So at the end of the day, the beef is real. When I looked at some of the highlights and like I normally do, I'm always into sports, and this is why we have a podcast, me and my brother Sess. I look back at the highlights of how Angel had teammates from the Sky literally disrespect Caitlin Clark. And, we're not talking about no in motion plays. We're talking about when the play had nothing to do with Caitlin Clark, and she's getting bumped out of bounds. Disrespectful. And then there's a play in motion where Angel Reese is going to act like she's going to defend her, her net, and hits Caitlin in the head intentionally. You could see it was intentional. So what we saw in, the weekend's game, I'll say, because it is the weekend of the season openers for a lot of the WNBA teams, between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. That was a no-brainer.
We saw a blowout.
That was something personal, and I'm not going to sit here and say that Caitlin is a bad player. No. Caitlin responded to what Angel Reese was doing to her teammate. And you know what? I applaud her. Because you know what? Caitlin plays the game the way the game should be played. Yeah. She was defending her teammate, and you know what? Shame on Angel Reese. And I love you, Angel, baby girl. I really do. But what you did was foul. And you're not going to keep trying to walk around on these courts as a bully. Sess, what do you think?
Well, first of all, it was a soft, flagrant foul. It was a regular foul. She was wide open. She was going up for the layup uncontested. And Caitlin stopped her from doing that. And Angel probably overreacted. She had some words. And
wait, Seth.
Yes.
Overreacted?
Yeah.
This woman got up off the floor ready to fight as if she was in the street.
She did, but credit to her in the post game. Cooler heads prevailed, and she said, in the end, it was a good basketball call or play or whatever she said, and she let it go. But as you said before, this rivalry is real, and definitely from Angel's side, it's real. And Caitlin just goes about her business. Caitlin had a triple-double in the game. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Reese, to her credit, she had 12 points, 17 rebounds. Overall, I mean, they're different ball players. You know, Reese plays a little bit more in the post than Caitlin. In my opinion, I know I say this, and I props to both. They're both excellent ball players. To me, Caitlin is a little bit better, a little bit more of a ball player, of a baller than Angel Reese is. Angel has a lot of room to grow. I think she'll be good, and if she can become more of a leader on that team, she could take them a long way, man.
Seth, do you believe that? And I don't want to sound like I'm being funny, and believe me, my good people, I'm not. But I've been watching sports a long time. Is it fair to say that we can almost compare this? We're not comparing the players. Of course, this is the WNBA. But is it fair to say that we can compare them to Magic and versus Bird?
Oh, man. Probably. I would say, yeah, the only difference maybe right now is that Magic and Bird actually, the rivalry on the court was serious. But off the court, they really liked each other. They were really tight. But when they got in between them lines, it was crazy. It was battle. It was on. You know what I mean?
So,
you know what I mean? That's the only difference I see there.
Do you think that this is a real personal rivalry? Like, I mean, do you think there's real, like, that Angel Reese really hates Caitlin Clark?
I'm not saying that, Big. I'm just saying who was it we just compared them to?
Magic and Bird.
If you say Magic and Bird, I would say they're a little bit closer to Jordan and Isaiah Thomas than Magic and Bird. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
That's the part of basketball that we are discussing right now, because now it is followed the WNBA, and the names that you just named, those type of names that you named, it was hate. But after the game, I can honestly say that after the game, Bird and Magic would have kept it professional.
Correct. Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas had a lot more to prove because he wasn't accepted to the good old boys club as one of the best. And that's what I mean. When I say good old boys club, it was as one of the best in the NBA. Isaiah was looked at as you're just a talented player, but you're not one of us.
He was like right underneath. He was like 1A, he was 1B.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But Isaiah was nasty, though. Isaiah was the truth.
Was a bull.
Yep.
He was a bull, and I stand on this to this day. No Isaiah Thomas, Zeke, is still one of the top 3 NBA point guards in history.
Talk to him.
So anyone that wants to debate me on that, let me know. Because there goes more of Steph Curry. There goes more of these other point guards that seem to go over Zeke Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is one of the top 3, top 5. And if he's not on your list, shame on NBA fans and NBA analysts and NBA reporters, those who do not understand how talented Isaiah Thomas was. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Folks, as a matter of fact, in the comments, let us know who are your top 3 point guards of all time. We'd love to know. NBA, that's in the books. WNBA, we talked about it. WNBA, once again, just underway. So far, 1-0 Caitlin Clark over Angel Reese. That'll be a great rivalry this season and many seasons to come. Real quick.
I'm sorry, my people. I just want to also continue because, again, it is the opening weekend of the WNBA season. So I want to sit here and go back. Again, we didn't want to take too much away from Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. We want to know how Caitlin Clark's sophomore year will be. We have the arrival of Paige Beckers, who was with Dallas. We want to see how her season will go. Will Asia Wilson get back to Title Land? She is a 2-time MVP. Minnesota Lynx Nafisha Collier has been picked this year to be this year's WNBA MVP by the general managers of the league. So, it's a lot of predicting, but people have spoken. Our sources have spoken. So we're looking forward to see what happens. Good luck, ladies, and good luck to all these teams in the WNBA.
I know you got a lot to talk about when it comes to the NFL, my brother, the National Football League.
So we're going to jump into Caleb Williams, the former Heisman Trophy winner out of USC, the first pick overall to the Chicago Bears a year ago as the starting quarterback and the talented quarterback. So there's been a lot of hype and a lot of controversy about what has been said. To our knowledge and to the sources that have brought it up, Caleb considered playing for the UFL.
That's crazy.
Woo!
That's amazing.
When you hear a football player that is considering to play for the UFL because you don't like your draft stock or you don't like where you're at in the draft, that's real. That's more than amazing, my brother.
That is crazy.
He considered to not play for the Bears and go to the UFL for maybe one season. I don't know if I'm going to laugh at that too hard. I know I chuckled, but it's not funny, folks. Again, these are young kids who feel that they're entitled. And that's a damn shame. In my book, it's a damn shame. And we go more with it because his own father has gone on record saying that QBs that go to Chicago, their career dies. And I truly believe that was the wrong thing to say. But there are always comments made in professional sports. Fans will either hate you or they will love you. The reason why they will love you, Sess, and I'm sure you could agree with this, as long as you're winning, that's all that matters.
That's right.
So my debate on this topic moving forward is, how will the Chicago fans rate Caleb Williams moving forward? Sess?
You said it right before that when you said it's all about winning. Because if Caleb Williams wins some ball games, the Chicago fans will love him. They yearn to win there. There's some great fans, but they have not had good teams. And by the way, he would not be the first guy to choose to not go right to the NFL because of his draft stock or where he's picked. Guys like Warren Moon, Joe Theismann, who else? Few other guys in there I can't think of right now, but a few guys have done it before. Didn't Doug Flutie go to the CFL or something before the NFL because he didn't like where he was going to get picked?
I believe it might have been the USFL.
The USFL?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yes. And Doug Flutie did play in the CFL as well.
Okay. So, listen, Caleb will, if he can bring any type of glory back to Soldier Field in Chicago, they're going to love him there. I have no question, brother.
Caleb, at the end of the day, it's not a topic of hate and bashing you. I truly wish the best for your future. I truly believe that you can turn the season around. I'm not the season. I stand corrected. You can turn the Bears around.
The organization.
As long as the organization builds around you, Caleb Williams, you can do some phenomenal things. I truly think that you are a talent to be reckoned with. As long as you stay humble, you stay working, And that's what it truly is all about.
And not to cut you off, but I was just going to ask you that. So you believe that Caleb Williams has the talent and the potential that the Bears could potentially go all in on him and build their team around him?
As long as you protect him, that starts with the offensive line. I've said this in past episodes. Again, you need an offensive line to protect this young man to build around him. There were teams in the NFL that just did not do such an easy thing. You went after other players, and I understand that that you guys have your charts, general managers, coaches alike. You guys have your charts on who you want to go for and who you want to build with, and what direction you want to go to. But you need to have an offensive line. The offensive line is so major in football. I can't really even express it any further. Please, fans, understand what I'm saying. The offensive line sets precedent to move your offense.
Hey, if you got friends who still think football is boring or don't understand why the playoffs are basically the greatest reality show ever, send them our way. We'll convert them faster than a last-minute touchdown. And you, don't just sit there with your beer in hand, smash that like button and leave a comment, and let's get this sports-loving family bigger and rowdier than a tailgate party at the Super Bowl.
I just want to go into real fast. Congratulations are in order for Brock Purdy. He just signed a 5-year, $265 million extension with the San Francisco 49ers. Congratulations to you, Brock. You've gone from Mr. Irrelevant to super relevant, super rich, super relevant, you could actually buy. You can buy a town in this country and name it after you.
Somewhere in New Mexico, probably. You got something.
Again, when you are drafted and you're into a professional sport, you make it to what you want it to be futuristically. And Brock, your future speaks volumes. Good luck to you again. You're playing my New York Giants, so we're looking forward for you to come to New York, or we go to San Francisco.
Niners are back, huh? Back on the schedule?
Yes, they are.
Sweet.
So we're looking to get at your $265 million ass. Bottom line.
$265 million. I like Brock Purdy. He's a competitor. I give him that. See how he does.
Bill Belichick. Coach Belichick, which is to most people, to most fans, the greatest NFL coach of all time. Bill Belichick is a genius in the sport of football. And he is now presently with the University of North Carolina. He is the University of North Carolina's head coach and the NCAA. He has a book out called The Art of Winning, from the NFL to the NCAA, and his time and history and resume from the NFL to now college, and how that transition has been for him and how that's worked out for him. He was on Good Morning America with Hall of Famer Michael Strahan, who is a host on the Good Morning America show, and he talked about his relationships.
Was his girlfriend on the show too?
No, she was not. Folks, again, we all know about his girlfriend, so we're not going to throw jabs at one of the greatest coaches of all time. And we mean that in a very sincere way. So, Coach, don't be mad at us. Again, he is now about to start something new in college. Bill Belichick is a genius, and I've said this, to numerous people. I don't see him failing even in college. To all those college coaches that Nick Saban, who is considered the greatest college football coach. And at one point it was Bear Bryant, but now it's Nick Saban. And in my eyes, Coach Belichick just might change people's views on a lot of things. This man, when he's coaching, he's just an animal. He's smart and he's passionate about this sport. So do not think that Bill Belichick will not be successful coaching college football. Seth, what do you think about that?
If he can bring the University of North Carolina to any prominence in football, his legend and his legacy will only grow. But of course, to me, as a New York Giant fan, the greatest thing that I see about Bill Belichick is that the Giants ruined the perfect season. Yeah, baby. New York Giants.
Yes, we did.
But otherwise, yeah, listen, Belichick, like I said, if he can bring North Carolina to prominence in any way, good for him. He'll just increase his legacy. We'll see what happens, brother.
Yes. As far as Bill to me will always be a New York Giant because of the simple fact that the owner, and rest in peace to him, Wellington Mara, and any part of the Maras that are living, that they will all go on record saying that once you're a Giant, you're always a Giant. And Bill Belichick was with the New York Giants.
That's right.
He won championships with the Giants.
Well, he's from the Bill Parcells tree. The
Yes.
Parcells tree of coaching. Absolutely.
Yes.
Can't deny that.
So we will never, ever doubt Bill Belichick. He is always a Giant, even though he has won championships with the Patriots.
With the Patriots. But we will cherish and appreciate the victories over Coach Belichick and New England Patriots. That's right.
All day, every day.
Anyway, so anything else in the NFL, my brother?
To all the New York Giant fans, real quick, the 2025-2026 schedule is out. Start planning ahead if you're gonna go and whatever you do to watch the Giants play, get it going now.
That's the NFL talk for this week. We'll hit you back next week. The NFL, of course, year round. One sport that's in the mix right now that's only heating up is Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball, like we said, heating up. Almost time for June and then July and the All-Star break, and then we go from there. So we're almost right in the midst of things, my brother. And we are going to talk about the MLB Power Rankings right now for this week, the week of May 18th, 2025. A lot of teams have been surging. A lot of teams have been hot. None have been hotter than the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers come in right now with a record of 30-16. They have been on the rise. And believe it or not, my brother C Flash, Javi Baez, our old friend, Javier Baez, great infielder from the Cubs, played with the Mets, now on the Tigers. They even have him playing center field. He has been on absolute fire lately. So the Detroit Tigers are number one on the Major League Power Rankings this week. Number two, what I like to call the usual, because it's the Los Angeles Dodgers, my brother. The Los Angeles Dodgers are 29-17. The train just keeps on rolling on the track. There's nothing stopping it. No deviations as of yet. We'll see what happens. They're getting great pitching. They're getting great hitting. You know who is doing well, and you know who is doing well. So that's how that goes there. Number three for me this week is the New York Metropolitans, our team, my brother, the New York Mets. Slipped a little bit in the rankings. Not that they've slipped too much, but they've been a little bit off their game, not hitting on all cylinders as they've been. Take heed in the fact that they're still winning, which is fantastic. So it shows a lot of good stuff. Still, Juan Soto, who's taking his walks, has a fantastic on-base percentage, has not really hit his stride yet. So we have that to look forward to. Pete Alonso has drifted back a little bit from his hot start, to be expected, but still producing at a top level in a contract year. So we got to love that. The pitching has been tremendous. Let's hope that continues. The New York Mets in at number three with a 29-17 record. Number 4 this week, the New York Yankees. Those Yankees keep doing it, folks. They're 26-19. They're getting help from everybody on that team. And of course, who's leading the pack? No one other than Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge coming into today, folks, is still batting .402. My brother, Aaron Judge is batting .402 today, May 18th. Already a quarter of the way through the season, and he's batting .402. They play the Mets tonight, Sunday night. It will have been a final already when you guys listen to this, but they do play the Mets in the rubber game of the series tonight. We'll hope that the Metropolitans beat them out. Yankees, number 4 on the power ranking list. Number 5, my brother, you asked about them earlier before the show, the San Diego Padres, 27-17 in the number 5 spot this week. They've been steady. Fernando Tatis, 11 home runs on the year. He has been, basically, if there was a comeback player of the year award, they'd probably give it to him if it ended today.
It's about time.
Yeah, well, it's
right. About time.
You're right about that. Absolutely. So that's the top 5 MLB power rankings: the Tigers, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, and the Padres. And a quick honorable mention to the Minnesota Twins, who have won 13 straight ball games. The Minnesota Twins won again last night. They have now won 13 in a row. They went from under 500 to now they're at 26-20. Byron Buxton leads the way there. They have a team ERA of 3.15. They're tearing it up, my brother. So that's the MLB roundup, the MLB power rankings. Anything to add? Want to touch on the Mets and anything that's going on in the baseball biz, my brother?
Baseball is back as well. There were some things that annoy me. There are some things that make me smile and make me and giggle. But at the end of the day, baseball is back as well. We are living in different times that we were decades ago. But this generation of sport players and talent are different. They move different. So we have to move accordingly to how they move. We see and we expect more from them because now, me and you we're in our 40s. And we,
what? Go ahead.
At the end of the day, we're in our 40s. So we look at these young kids and we're like, damn, they're babies, but they are truly, truly special to watch. And it just, for me as a Mets fan and you as a Mets fan, we get frustrated, but we understand that baseball is a humbling sport. So at the end of the day, I truly, it's still early. We're heading out of May, very soon. And it's still early. So, at the end of the day, I'm not frustrated. I'm not pissed off. Again, and I'm going to say that I'm not pissed off as a Met fan because we have a lot of baseball left to go. We don't say let's go Mets for nothing. Again, and to all our listeners, if you don't know that we're Mets fans, we're going to say it. We will beat the Yankees' ass tonight.
That's right. Tonight game.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. And you know what? Real quick to touch back what you were saying about Aaron Judge. Aaron, them stats look, they sound good, my brother. But you proved a point yesterday to why Yankee fans might doubt you.
In the big spot.
He struck him out.
Still at the top of the league. The top of the division at 29-17, folks. Major League Baseball will only continue to heat up. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll let y'all know what's going on. We'll give the hockey fans what they want to hear, the NHL playoffs. Let them know.
Will the Great 8 be back next season? And it has been confirmed that he will be back next season. Again, I don't know how our listeners might feel about this. Hockey fans alike. Do you think the Great 8 should retire? He has broken records. He has won a Stanley Cup. What is the stance on Alex Ovechkin? And what should we do or what should we expect from him moving on into the future? I believe that Alex is still in his 30s, late 30s. So is it time for him to retire? In past podcasts, we have discussed it in past podcast episodes. I stand corrected. Past podcast episodes that, let's be clear. I want to set the record straight. you are in your prime in the 30s, but also in the professional sports, you are looked at as an old fart. And if I'm not using the right term for that, I apologize. So I'm going to say this again. In professional sports, you are looked at as an old man or woman in your 30s. The 40s, they're looking at why the hell you keep doing this, and shame on the organization for keeping you. That's how they're looking at it. But we blame Tom Brady, the GOAT, for that. My good people, again.
By the way, Ovechkin coming back, I bet you he'll have a similar season to this season. He'll continue to pad the stats, and he'll be just fine, and then he'll have to rethink this all again at the end of next season.
He will. He will, but, you know, again, we pay homage to Alex Ovechkin, the great eight. His time, his effort, and everything that he's done inside of hockey. He's been an entertainer, just like anyone else, when it came to professional sports. And, you know, the love is real for Alex, and we wish him well, along with this year's hockey playoffs. I truly believe that watching the Dallas Stars advance, that they're going to continue to do great things. And other than that, we're going to go and say right now, the Stars, along with these other great teams, will be Stanley Cup champions. Forgive me if I sounded like I was a little lackadaisical. I was not. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure that we are on point, and we say nothing that is inaccurate, nothing that is false. So we want to make sure we are on point.
The Stars are playing the Edmonton Oilers in the conference finals. The Stars will take on what some people call a generational player in Connor McDavid.
Okay.
On the Edmonton Oilers. So we'll see how that goes. And on the other side of things, Toronto and Florida, the Maple Leafs and Florida play tonight, Game 7 tonight, folks, which is May 18th, Sunday. It'll be a final by the time you hear this. But the winner goes on and plays the Carolina Hurricanes in the conference finals on that end to see who goes to the Stanley Cup. Talk to him, brother.
It seems like the Hurricanes are very hungry.
Yeah.
They have suffered some losses in the past. But again, don't sleep on the Stars. The Dallas Stars seem like they are very serious. We're not here to, tell the gamblers in the world to pick these teams. So do not blame us.
This is not gambling advice.
We're going to get into boxing.
Ring that bell, baby.
Yes, please ring that bell. Javante Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. The rematch, which all boxing fans alike, including your boy, C Flash, and everyone knows how much I love boxing. The rematch will be August 16th. And if there's any type of, setbacks, then it will not be August 16th. Of course, everyone knows that due to injury, a lot of other boxers occasionally have suffered injury, and there's been some situations where it came down to business reasons why they could not make that date. But as of right now, a set date has been for August 16th. My man says, I have to debate this because, Tank Davis should not have won that fight. And I truly believe that Lamont Roach was robbed. So I want to talk about that real quick.
Well, I'm glad you said that because you know me. I'm a big fan of Tank Davis. I think he was at one point the best pound for pound in the world right now. But this is a big fight for him because exactly what you said. A lot of people feel that Roach was robbed there. I do not, but I do think he needs to do more, he being Tank Davis, to show and prove that he is the superior fighter. So I think Tank will do it this time. I think he might even win by knockout. We'll see what happens. But we need that Tank Davis to show up. What do you think?
Gervonta, you are a talented young fighter. You are the future of boxing, and you right now currently are doing your thing and you're doing your numbers. I just would like to see the true greatness from you. You know, this Lamont Roach, he puts you on notice to tell you that, hey, you ain't as good as you think you are. Lamont Roach is truly, truly for real.
That's right. I was just going to say, he ain't no slouch, Lamont Roach. He's a good fighter.
And, Tank, you could walk around thinking that, you're one of the richest men in the world. That's okay. You earned it. You worked hard for that. So I'm not going to talk crazy to you about that or talk about you as if like you didn't deserve that. Any boxer that put in that hard work and won titles, you live your life, spend your money, but don't forget where you came from. Always remain humble, stay true to yourself, and represent your family the right way. You are a Davis. Lamont Roach is a quiet dude. He comes, it looks like he comes from good stock. And I would not slouch on him no more on this second fight, Tank. You gotta come correct. True. Because Lamont is coming. And I'm gonna tell you right now, he's definitely walking around with a chip on his shoulders because he knows he was robbed, but he's coming back with the same energy. Tank, if you don't come with that energy, you will be knocked out. Or the fight is going to Lamont to be the new and rising star of boxing. So again, I wish y'all well and good luck. And I want to also talk about real quick Jake Paul, the rising of Jake Paul.
That's a good one.
Jake Paul has now created the most valuable promotions, and he has signed a slew of women boxers to his promotion label, and there will be also male boxers that will be signed as well if they're not already. I look back and Jake is set to fight Julio Cesar Chavez on June 28th. With that being said, Jake Paul's net worth is $100 million in 2025.
Damn.
So for all those that sat back and said Jake Paul's a joke, he needs to stop this nonsense, he's not fighting real people. Yes, we felt bad for Mike Tyson when Mike Tyson fought him, but I didn't feel bad for Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson should not have been in the ring at 58 years old. That was crazy. That was disgusting. And Mike, shame on you. But I'm not mad at you because Mike, you got $20 million out of the deal. So how really shall I feel towards Mike Tyson? That was a business decision. Seth, and I know that was.
Yeah, definitely, brother. Definitely.
Underdogs, upsets, and uppercuts. Subscribe if you're here for the chaos.
Shout out to Jake Paul, though. I mean, he's doing something right. Holy moly.
Yes, he is.
Great job, brother. Talk to him. I know you had a few more tidbits you wanted to get to.
I want to talk about high school sports. And this is a segment that I'm very passionate about. And I just want to give a shout out to the number one rated soccer player in the country, high school soccer player in the country. That is Tamo Allen. Tamo, and I hope I'm getting your name and I'm pronouncing your name right. You come out of San Jose Earthquakes Academy in California. Keep doing your thing, young man. Keep shining. Keep gracing us with your presence. And, when your presence brings us to you, I'll say. But keep doing what you're doing and keep representing. Hopefully you'll be able to bring a World Cup to the United States one day. Let's give a shout out to the women's tennis. I want to give a shout out to Jasmine Paolini defeats Coco Gauff in the Italian Open, 6-4, 6-2. She is become second Italian woman to win the title since Raffaella Rigi in 1985.
Wow.
So congrats to
30 years.
Jasmine. Keep doing
40 years, pardon me.
Yes. Keep doing great numbers and keep being great, young woman. Keep being great. Also, congratulations to, and I feel like I'm always saying congratulations, or I'm saying, you know, or this next tennis player that on the men's side is got accolades at a young age, and he is our future star. He is our star now and future star. Carlos Alcaraz defeated Jannik Sinner, you know, and these are ranked players. Carlos was at number 3 and Jannik Sinner was at number 1. He defeated him in the Italian Open final. So congratulations to both of them. Keep shining, young talent, and keep being great. This is what we love. This is why we do sports and why we talk sports.
Alcaraz, by the way, is very good. I can't tell yet. I haven't watched him enough to decide if he's a real cocky tennis player or if he's just very, very confident. I'm not sure yet. I got to watch him a little more. But either way, he's getting the job done.
I would say, my brother, he's definitely confident. Alcaraz knows how talented he is. He knows how good he is. So I wouldn't say he's cocky. I would definitely say he's confident. And I think there's more to come from this young man. I think from our time coming up, Pete Sampras was the guy. And then there came the other two.
You got Nadal, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer,
Nadal, and then you have another Jokic. You know, do we call him Jokic?
Oh, what's his name? I forget his name. Dijovic or something.
Yes. So we want to be clear real quick that again, these players and Carlos Alcaraz is the future. Because the former players have come and gone, and the future now is Carlos Alcaraz, and I truly believe that this kid is going to lead us into the future, and I don't think there's going to be too much debate about that. He really owns his craft, and he works night and day. You could see it when he gets on a tennis court.
Yeah,
and that's about it right now. That's a bit that I have to say about that right now. And I'm just, once again, I'm just
nice.
I'm excited about the future of all sports, because this is our joy and this is our passion that we talk about.
That's right. Just to get the name straight, just not to disrespect, is Novak Djokovic. That's his name. One of the greats.
We stand corrected to all our Village Legends listeners. Novak is a beast. He's also a future Hall of Famer. Novak goes into the category of
greatest male single stars.
Yes.
Maybe of all time, perhaps. Yep.
Pretty much,
he might be in there. Yep, he might be in the conversation for sure.
And I'm going to talk about the pressure to coach in professional sports today. Why is it so much stress? Why is there so much stress to be a professional coach today? Can and should we just blame ownership, or should we blame the coaches? And I want to have a debate talk about that with none other than my brother Sess, and tell me what you think.
I mean, it's such a broad topic. It's tough to say. It's case by case with every team, of course. But I think you would agree that everyone is pretty much on a short leash nowadays, especially if you come from a big market, a Chicago, a New York, and LA. They're not going to give you a lot of time to lose. They're going to move on from you. The thing I think you're talking about is now we're seeing that same trend in the smaller market teams. And that, I think, has been giving you some pause, if I'm not mistaken, right, my brother? With things going on like at the Denver situation and now this latest one this week you're going to tell us about.
There is a problem. We'll go into as far as baseball. Baseball alone. They just, with the Baltimore Orioles recently just fired their manager. And the manager of the Baltimore Orioles, brought their team to the playoffs in previous years. I believe I stand corrected.
He was a manager of the year, by the way.
Brandon Hyde was the manager of the year. So to all our listeners that want to debate this, and I get it, if you want to debate it, there is a problem in professional sports. When do we start blaming the ownership? Blaming the ownership on how they approach winning for their organization. We are taking these coaches and their families and bringing them to a state, a community, and then you're firing them 3 or 2 years later. That's a problem, especially if they showed that they are successful in what they've done. They can only do so much off the strength of the general manager, the president of operations, and the ownership. It's not the manager's fault. Sometimes it is, and we get that because there will be words that will be said from the players about, hey, how he's lost or she's lost the locker room. At the end of the day, we need to give more time to these coaches. That's all I'm saying. We need to give more time to these coaches. And until we realize that, we're not going to understand it any further. Yes, I understand Brandon Hyde went 15-28, and he was 10.5 games out of first place. Yes, that's rough.
With a talented team, too.
With a talented team.
Which is really what makes it rougher for him.
Do we know the reason why? We truly don't.
No.
Because the players don't come out and speak as well, which they should. And that lets us know that obviously they wanted him gone. Because if the players don't come out and speak for him, they wanted him gone. And there's got to be more to what we are talking about this topic. But it's just sad. And I really, truly believe, as a fan, I will always say, hey, that coach sucks. Or the ownership sucks. Or the general manager sucks. But now I'm starting to, realize things more through our sources, through analysts, and we really understand it more than what it is. So we need to figure out what is going on. And if you don't fix this problem, you're not going to have people that are going to take coaching jobs. We're going to have robots, folks. Robots. Of course, I'm BSing everybody when I say that.
Hey, you never know. You
never know. You never know. Sess, what do you think?
I hear you, brother. I hear you 100%. It's going to be interesting, the way that this evolves. But I think, a lot of it is case by case. What team, what organization, what city, what ownership. But you're right, they get a lot less time than they used to. Listen, what I would say is plain and simple. You are usually loyal to the people you work for, but are the people you work for always loyal to you? You know what I'm saying? That goes to every walk of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Put your best foot forward and may the chips fall where they may, my brother.
I believe that's our extra point for this segment.
Very nice, folks. Before we get out of here, let's tell you right now. You got anything else before we hit the birthdays, my brother?
No, sir.
All right, let's give the quick sports birthdays for today, May 18th, Sunday, 2025. Brooks Robinson, one of the greatest third basemen of all time.
Yes,
Some
he
say
was.
the greatest third baseman of all time. Would have celebrated a birthday today. He just died in 2023. Shout out and happy birthday to Brooks Robinson. The great Reggie Jackson, Mr. October.
Mr. October, Reggie.
Turned 79 today. Shout out to him. One of my favorite college players of all time. My brother will know this name, Donyell Marshall from the University of Connecticut.
UConn.
Yes, sir. You know, he's a coach on the Golden State Warriors.
Nah.
Yeah, he's on the coaching staff. So shout out to him. Happy birthday to him. Former Met and I believe Yankee starting pitcher Nelson Figueroa celebrates a birthday today.
Oh, yeah, he's also on the host of SNY.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay, Nelson.
And of course, maybe one of the great college quarterbacks of all time. Didn't turn out as a pro quite like he wanted. Decent career. Vince Young celebrates a birthday.
Okay, Vince.
Well,
National championship
happy
winner.
birthday to him. Guys, thank you so much. Episode 7 was a blast. We were cooking. And thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, comment. Let us know what you thought. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be back soon with episode 8. Why don't you take us out the only way you can, my brother? Hit it.
Yes, my good people. Have a great week. Stay focused. Stay believing. Stay motivated. And as always, think about sports. Peace.
Thanks for joining Village Legends with Cess and C Flash. Miss a moment and you miss a meme. Hit that subscribe and notification button before your team gets swept.